Welcome to my new adventure, starting a hobby farm from scratch. Come along with me as I share some of my personal ups, downs, and everything in between. Hey, I'm Vicky. It's been nearly 3 years since I began working toward my 8 year dream of having a hobby farm. April 2022, I began renting to own a 9.5 acre property that's around 25-minute drive from my current home in the suburbs. The new property is mostly undeveloped and has on it a home that I have had to have gutted down to the studs, and that's how it remains today. And in a little bit, I will tell you why that's the case. When I first saw the land, it was mostly covered with pines, several huge, beautiful old oak trees, and overgrown shrubs, and currently not suitable for pastures or gardening since the property has been vacant for 15 years. I don't mind telling you that so far it's been a roller coaster ride of challenges and learning. I'm here to share my lessons, my mistakes, and my wins. So let's get started. First, let me answer the big question: why start a farm? Well, for me, it's about reconnecting with nature, staying active in retirement, and doing something meaningful with my life. I grew up loving the cows and chickens and ducks on my grandparents' property and enjoying the fresh vegetables from their garden and pears, peaches, and plums from their fruit trees. Those memories have stuck with me all these years. And as I neared retirement, starting my own hobby farm seemed like the perfect thing to do to add meaning to my new chapter in life. I don't like the idea of being idle, and I need something of interest to keep me motivated and young at heart. I know that starting a fresh, new lifestyle might sound daunting, and at times it has been, believe me, but it's also been incredibly rewarding. The closer I came to retiring, I found myself thinking more and more about those summer days spent gathering eggs, holding precious little ducklings, and watching cows graze in my grandparents' cow pastures. It felt so peaceful, so fulfilling. Now, I want to recreate that feeling in my own way. It's a chance to honor those memories and build something meaningful for the rest of my life. Humor me here. I want you to think about what you would want from a hobby farm. Is it fresh eggs, homegrown vegetables, or simply a peaceful lifestyle? Well, for me, it's a mixture of all three, plus the joy of sharing this journey with others, because a shared journey is much more enjoyable. That's why I started this YouTube channel. And in fact, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and follow along to keep me motivated and accountable. I need to have accountability. Anyway, let me tell you, the learning curve is real. From trying to get permits to renovate the house on the property to figuring out the basics of gardening and chicken care at my current suburban backyard, every step has been a lesson. I've also had to deal with dishonest building vendors along the way, losing money and learning the hard way to vet contractors very carefully. It embarrasses me to admit it now, but in the spirit of being transparent, I'm sharing it with you anyway. My friend, I spent weeks working with a contractor who promised me everything was above board. I paid him to install new windows, siding, and to add a deck onto the back of my house, only to find out after it was all done that he didn't pull the legal permits, which put me in dire straits with the county's building codes and regulations department. It was a gut punch. Oh yeah. Not just because of the money, but because I had trusted someone who didn't deliver. On top of that, it turned out that the electrician I hired wasn't licensed as he claimed, so I had to fork out more money to get that job redone by a licensed electrician. As you can imagine, these were major disappointments that were also very costly. But I've learned that setbacks are part of the process and persistence is key if I want to achieve my goals. I still don't have a permit, but I'm getting ready to submit the proper paperwork and to keep pushing forward. Yes, I've learned the hard way that you have to double check credentials And sometimes you have to redo work to make sure it's right. But there is no way that I'm going to allow the previous contractor's dishonesty and failure to do the right thing stop me from achieving my dream. Not everything goes to plan, and that's okay. Over the course of this process, I've definitely been reminded that mistakes are great teachers, even in my current backyard in the suburbs. Take gardening, for instance. I thought I could grow anything and everything that I wanted to, but I quickly learned that shade, pests, and soil quality have minds of their own. Some crops thrive, others never made it past the germination stage, and in large part because of my semi shady backyard. And there were the chickens. I once underestimated their ability to escape their pen, and before I knew it, I had a full scale chicken chase in the backyard. Oh my gosh, I'll never forget that day. It never happened again to me though, because I learned my lesson. But every misstep has brought me closer to success. When I first started learning about chickens, I spent hours reading forums, watching videos, and asking questions in chicken keeping groups. I had to learn the difference between breeds, the best feed for egg production, and how to keep predators out of the coop, as I did not want clever raccoons or keen-eyed hawks wiping out my entire flock. One of my biggest lessons, though, was understanding that farming doesn't happen overnight. Even small projects like building my first raised bed gardens took more time and energy than I initially thought. I remember a weekend I dedicated to filling the raised garden beds, which I had to purchase and assemble, by the way. What I thought would take a few hours ended up being an all day project of bags and bags of garden soil and compost, filling the raised beds and making countless trips back and forth, carrying heavy bags of dirt. But that sense of accomplishment, seeing the finished beds ready for planting, made it all worth it. Thankfully, for every mistake, there's a win. For example, the first time I collected fresh eggs from my hens was pure magic. In fact, I'll never forget the time that Bonnie, one of my first pullets and also one of my favorites, laid her first egg on Christmas Day. It felt like the perfect gift. I was so excited. And watching my very first vegetable seeds sprout into tiny little plants under the grow lights for the first time, wow, that was priceless. It's small victories like these that keep me motivated and excited for what's to come on the farm. For example, one of my most unforgettable moments came when I planted my first tomato seedlings in the garden. I babied those plants, watered them daily, and checked them for pests constantly. When I harvested my very first bright red tomato, I couldn't believe how flavorful it was compared to the store-bought ones. And I can't begin to recall how many fresh cucumbers never made it into the house because I ate them right there in the garden. It's the little joys like biting into that fresh tomato that remind me why I started this journey in the first place. If you're thinking about starting your own hobby farm, here's my advice. Start small, right where you are. Start learning what you're going to need to know before you build your farm. Focus on one or two projects at a time. Do your research, but don't get overwhelmed. Trial and error are part of the process. Connect with your local farming community. Their knowledge is invaluable. And most importantly, and I can't stress this enough, enjoy the journey. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. One step at a time, you'll see your dream take shape. A word of warning though, when you set out to follow your dream, not everyone will understand or support your vision. I've had to deal with discouragement from loved ones who didn't think this was a practical or wise choice for me and strongly suggested that I shouldn't do it. But I wasn't deterred. I am determined. Their doubts don't define my potential. What matters is your passion, determination, and the belief that your dreams and goals, no matter what they are worth pursuing. One way to overcome discouragement, whether it's from others or from circumstances that get in the way, is to focus on your why. Why does this dream matter to you? For me, it's about living with purpose and proving to myself that it's never too late to start something new. You need to surround yourself with positivity, friends, family, or even like minded online communities who uplift and inspire you. I've found great support through online homesteading groups where I can ask questions and share experiences. And remember, every great achievement starts with you daring to take the first step. If you think it's too late to follow your dreams, let me tell you this: it's never too late. I'm proving to myself and others that age is just a number. Don't let fear or doubt stop you. Whether it's starting a farm, learning a new skill, or pursuing a passion, the best time to start is right now. Starting a hobby farm during my golden years might be a big challenge, but it's also the most rewarding adventure of my life. Well, my friend, I thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And share your own stories or questions in the comment section. If you're interested in learning more about starting a farm or are just curious about what's been happening on my journey, check out these videos right here. Well, here's to new beginnings, learning something new every day, and enjoying every step of the adventure. See you next time. Thanks for watching.